Good day. I've been sitting here since my last video. I've actually sit here all the time. Basically, I almost never move. But that's what some people think. But that's fine. You know, what we see in space by the Hubble telescope, how much of that is true? Don't forget, people get paid to tell a story. We didn't ask whether it's the truth, but it's the truth from what they know because it's their truth. You know, in a story, it goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're going to take out 1 and 2. Now tell me the story. Which numbers? Now you can't mention 1 and 2. So you see, that's how they start. They tell you don't talk about 1 and 2, but talk about the rest of the story. Okay, talk about the avenue they want you to be on because you're getting paid good cash. You know how dangerous this is? Okay, listen to what actually is inept here. If we go along the lines that God owns the universe, well, wouldn't it be along the lines that if there is an Illuminati and there is a devil angel, well, wouldn't he want to have his own part of his universe and then he can fight against God's part of his universe? The whole thing is, in the heavens, they move, and it's moving all the time, and you have to move with it, and you have to be with the times. So I'm thinking that these Rothschilds, Rotten Childs, you understand where they got the name? Is it Rothschild? Yes, it's the Rotten Child. You see, they made it so easy to know what rotten is all about. But at the same time, he's playing a hell of a game. You know what I'm saying? Every cent, according to golf rules, hockey rules, it doesn't matter what the score is. If you cheat anywhere during the game, whatever the score was is all lost, and the winner becomes the opposition. So when the Rothschilds, the bankers, or whoever else is out there, all their money should be nullified, and everything that is out there should be given back to the people, okay, at a primary source, and somehow diluted, reused, or something must be done. I like to get implicated into this thing of the law and politics, because I'm starting to like law and politics. It's not that hard to know that if you walk into a store and what you have in your hands is nothing and what you have in your pockets is nothing, and you walk out with a lollipop, there's a chance you stole it. Okay? What are we supposed to do in the new world? Oh, he's smoking marijuana on the side of the road. Who cares? Who cares what he's doing on the side of the road? You know what I'm saying? There's certain things, it's not our business. Why do we have to get involved, man? Why do we have to get involved? And I should know. Ask my friend Steve. Ask my friend Al. Well, if he wants me to call him that. Ask all my friends. They know where I stand. I really don't want to get involved. And sometimes I do, and I have gotten involved, and they're witness that I've gotten so involved, I made an ass of myself. And I didn't realize that until 5 minutes later, but I didn't take notice till about 25 years later. Okay? When you say you're sorry, it means nothing. But when you live the experience of saying you're sorry, that means everything. And that's where Ron Paul comes in. Because Ron Paul, it's now, it's not tomorrow. Who cares who owns what, my friends? They stole it. They caused war. What? Going to jail. The war was caused. If they caused it or it didn't cause, who cares anymore? Take back what's not theirs and restart this whole thing. Do we always have to put somebody in jail? Well, we have to check their association out and break it down, just like they wanted to break us down as an association. We should break them down as an association. The money, well, what I would do with the money tomorrow, don't worry, Ron Paul will fix it up, but I wouldn't pay. I'd say, Ron Paul, tell everybody that is, let's say, making $40,000 a year and less to pay absolutely, give them back their taxes, give them back their houses. Everybody that's making 40 to whatever, give them a big break. Give everybody a break up until the point where it's not necessary to give any breaks at all. And then devaluate the American dollar to nothing. Realign yourself with the people from the outside that truly own it from China, and not someone in China who's working on the behalf of the Zionists owning that money. You know what I'm saying? We got to get this world back in order. And we're going to have to include people like the Russians, the Chinese, and the Arabs. It's the way it works. I mean, I don't care. I saw this song, White Man, something about white man. Why is it always white man? Because white man comes last. Everybody gets dirty, and water doesn't exist right now, okay? Unless it is, it's the white ice, right? It's the white ice, ICE, or it's the white ass man, right? You see, with the black man, they pointed out the dirty spot was in his, what is in his butt end. They showed a spot of white. But with white man, they showed you his whole body, the same color of his ass. I guess he has the same value, right? Jiminy crickets. Anyways, I'm just going to go over a little thing that I did. This is a stop sign. This is the center. It goes towards the 3 corner. I could have made it go to any corner, but I will make it go to this corner, this corner. This would be go in Monopoly. This thing gets untangled, okay? These are the dice, okay? These are the dice, okay? It says on the top 6 with no 9. It says on the bottom, or excuse me, 5. And these two over here, 6, 7. You have 6, 7. And over here you have 5 and 8. So 5 is the difference between 6 and 8. And 8, the 186th day of the year, happens to be July 4th. And I think this year it's the 187th day of the year, and 87 stands for the egg of man. EGG. Remember that 5775 I told you? Well, the 5th letter is an E, the 7th letter is a G, and the last letter is an E. You know what it says? It says hard-boiled egg. Just like 2014. Do you know what 2014 is? It's simple. 20 is the T letter, 14 is the N. TN, who's in between that? It's me, the E-Spirit, the electronic robot, the angel resident, and what does it come up with? TEN, 10. Anyways, we're not going to get to 1020 right now, because 20, the TY at the end, T is the 20th letter, the Y is the 25th letter, together it makes Fox 45. Fox 45, 4 on the outside, 5 in the center. You see, one of the expressions with 5 is that it's actually the 1. But the 1, because it is the heart of everything, is put into the 5th position. So when you say 45, it's also the dice 5. But you can say 4 and 1 if you want. 2 separate things. I said 4, T5. T, transmission between the 4 and the 5. So when you say 45, the question is it 5 like this, 4 like this, or is it a 4 with the 1 center 5 because you called 2 numbers? Well, it can be both, okay? Doesn't matter. Now what I want to show you is this, okay? To make a 1010 from the 45 foxhole is 65. That'll make 1010. 6 is here, 5 is here. 4 is here, 5 is here. They both connect to the same hole, and then whoosh, over here. This is number 3. Now, if that's what happens, and they go over to number 3, okay, which passes, look, partial passes through Venus, because this is number 2 position. This is Venus, this is Earth, this is Saturn, this is Jupiter, this is Mars. So they go over here to 3 Earth. Now, I don't think we all go over here. Do we all meet over here? Beta world 2, corner of the 6th world. You see there's a 6th world here cut off? Because it's the letter I. This one would make the letter H, 6. This one makes the letter I, cut off. Is that possible? Or do we come here and run as 5 avatar? Because we are the 5 avatar. Because on 4 sides of the dice, if you look at the 2 side, the opposite is the 2 is a 5 side, and all you see is 5 marks. There are 4 sides of the dice that will always show 4 marks if you transfer the dots from one end to the other end, and there are 2 sides that show 7 dots when you transfer the dots, and you can always see the 6 and 1 dot. So anyways, 4 and 5, to bring this, okay, to dice value, the opposite of 4 is 3. The opposite of 5 is 2. Or if you want to do it the other way around, it's 2, 3, or number 23. Now the 10-10, okay, excuse me, not the 10-10. Where's that for? This is supposed to say 78. Anyways, what I'm going to do is bring it to here. If you ever play craps and you throw 6-6, the opposite of a 6-6 is 1-1. So they choose either the 6-6 or the 1-1 for the winner on the don't pass line. They usually bar one of the two, okay? If you get a 1-2 and you're playing craps and you play on the pass line, a 6-5 is a winner. The underside of 6-5 is 1-2, bringing them both to 7 and 7, like I marked over here, 7 and 7. That's why the opposite, one you win, one you lose. Then on the opposite of the dice again, 5 and 5 makes 10. And the opposite of 5 and 5 is 2 and 2. And I'm going to show you. The opposite side of a 5 is the 2. And if I just try to turn this dice around, you see the 5 and then the 2. See 5 and 2? So that's why you get 7 out of that. Now, let me just put this down over here. And all along with the craps that you roll, okay, in craps, if you roll a 5 and a 4, you get a 9. But the opposites of 5 and 4 is 2 and 3, which is a 5. And both of these have the same payout. And they're opposites of each other with the same pay. Creation comes from love and the foxhole. Why the foxhole? Because 65, okay, 65, excuse me, we're going to go not at 65, but reverse it to 56, okay, because you can use it both ways. Up to 3 numbers, you can use all 3 combinations. The minute it's a 4th number, it's something different. The same way they taught us in school in mathematics, 0, 0, 0, and a comma. Groups of 3s, groups of 3s, groups of 3s. Okay, the same way as the Tetris tiles that some people play and they love so much. Well, all in all, that's the way we basically create our alphabet. The only thing that is missing in that is the slant and the tilt, okay, which happens to be the Z and the N, okay, in which represents I and water, which is I and O, and together it says Zion. Zion means, okay, in my terminology, it means the ion, it means the connection, it means water. Why? Because the I stands for me is I, and the O is the 6-man birth, okay? And O in French, okay, means water. So it's the water man, okay? So they need, these people, the Zionists, they need, they must win that water out there. It's all about the water. Just like they connected to water here in Quebec. And I think, believe it or not, we're already infiltrated because somehow, for some reason, we have to slow down our sales of electricity just for a little bit to do a little test for something because, you know what, I don't know, something about water. Anyways, that's the whole thing about craps. Again, in craps, if you roll a 4 and a 2 is 6, okay? The opposite on the dice of 4 is 3. The opposite of 2 on the dice is 5. You get 8. 8 and 6 have the same payout. 68 is the manna heaven. 5 and 9 are the passage of the birth. Both these go together. Both these go together in all terminology, and the payouts in craps go together. So what we're up to in this world to save this world, you're right. Check all the gambling games. Check chess out. Everybody says just chess. It's not only chess. It's every other game. Because by how much are you going to miss? How much are you going to go over? Blackjack, poker. Can you bluff them out of it? Okay, we actually haven't gotten the law on this yet, but we can bluff out the people on this, and they'll never notice, and we'll implicate this law, and then it'll be too late. So everything is supposed to make us blind. We're supposed to be good people, but you know what? It's not for anybody to own the land of the world anywhere, in any state, in any country. And the sad thing is, how do we know which person is sane? How do we get... I mean, how do we know that's what God wants? Are we supposed to ask God this question now? No. This is out of God's hands. This is in our hands now. And the question is to the people, do you like your freedom? Do you know what it means to steal? Do you know what it means to drive your car fast? Do you know what it means to occupy a place that is not yours? Do we understand what the words freedom means? Okay? Understanding freedom is understanding other people's freedoms. Okay? And then we have to understand Just like if you work for the police force or anything, you can't wear your Rolling Stones t-shirt and a big hat. Okay, just like you can't be, if you can confide anything under your clothes, you can wear it. Okay, as long as it justifies, but you can't wear yourself a big giant hat over your head and not your police hat, because you've got to represent the police. And there's got to be an attitude problem between a lot of people, because there's way too many mean people. Why is that? Everything can be rectified without having the mafia jump all over us. Somehow at the beginning you've got to let them have a piece of their pie, but eventually you have to cut them out. Or maybe they'll be good to bring the marijuana and grow the big plants that we're looking to put up ourselves, since it won't be illegal anymore. Maybe we'll be able to do it, and the freedom will just say, hey man, it ain't worth being evil anymore. You know, just like this Coney character. You know what? Is it only America going to fight Coney? How many people do you think should go fight Coney? Okay, how many people? I don't see him on the internet at all. How much did they pay that kid to make this video? Who cares about Coney? Is he on our island right now? He's using up kids from other places in the world. Yeah, but we're dying and our soldiers are going to die. We're going to save 10,000 and lose 10,000. Where's the bargain? If Coney was done, why don't you bring in the Arab League to go find Coney? Let's see what they think about. Are the Arabs having any war or any fight right now? Maybe because they know what better is. Sometimes you have to let be, until it's a chronic crisis where the whole world hears about it. The reason why the whole world is not hearing about it is because there's not justice in our media right now. Okay, there is no justice in our media. People, whatever is out there is only known half, and less than half, because the truth that we do know is not even correct. It's incorrect. Anyways, for this and for now, I will let it be and let it go. For this is not only the MrTacpans show. There's not much that I really have to know. But freedom and liberty is one we should all know. Freedom and liberty means after the election, if Ron Paul wins, don't jump up and down. Stay quiet. Everybody should have a moment of silence for everything that happened before he won. Then after that moment of silence, remember that if you misuse and judgment on your own liberties, again, they will be sanctioned against you within the near future, until an odd-sized government comes back in, and again we have the devilish, fiendish mind of Satan coming back one more time into this world, if we do not grow up from our child into the future. God wanted us to prosper and grow and fill the land. Well, they stole the land. They stole the land from the Indians. Christopher Columbus wasn't the first one here, okay? He was the first one in the area he was. Who told him he owned the land? Who says to Britain that they own our land? Why? Because they threw a couple of people here in a flag and they say, we own it? That's bullshit. Nobody owns this world no more. It's all a change with Ron Paul, and we will stand up, and the Queen will lose her flag in this land. We can still be her friend if she wants, but we owe her no money. In Canada, the same thing. We must get the Queen off the $20 bill and all our change. Okay, I don't think it's for the benefit of us to have the Queen on our bill, because if we do have the Queen on our bill, and the 20 is the most represented bill for the beta world, I think we should have the face of God on the bill, and that'd be a burning face of fire, right? That'd be the same thing that Satan has. Well, of course, God and Satan are like father and son alike. If Satan is in the hellhole of fire to bringeth it to the man, well, guess what? Take off whoever George Washington on the $1 bill, and you put God's face of fire. We'll see fire with fire, and who will stand up before the Christ? Okay, who will stand up before the Christ? The number of Christ is 74, and I'm going to show you where this 74 comes from. But before I tell you where the 74 comes from, I just want to tell you something. As the cows get branded, they graze in the field. What is it about the grays, the gray area, the gray anatomy, the grays of the cats, the grazing cows and cattle in the fields? There's more to it. Another thing to remember, 39 will always be a perfect 10, because it means the three worlds of 999, which is actually 111. 111 is 666. Why? Because on a dice, a 1, the opposite of 1 is the 6. And then once you transfer the dot from the 1 to the 6 side, it's now 777. So it becomes 67, 67, 67. The spirit of 67, alpha, beta, omega. The other thing I wanted to show you here is I keep telling everybody the number of Christ is 74. And there's a couple of reasons for it, because the number of man would be 37. Because 3 times 7 is 21, the letter U. U, and U. To create that U, and U experience, you have to have V and double V, because the U is the bent connection to the world that connects the two sides, but the V are the angles of life. And that's why when you put V above W, it equals to number 45, and that's the angle of the Fox connection right here, dead center. Do you understand? Dead center. This is where man must be. Dead center. See the way on one side is the 6, on the other side is the 4? Okay? This is not the design. The 3 should be on this side. Okay? But this is a multi-level design where the 5, okay, is on one level, the 4 is on another level, and the 6 is on another level. So I can, because usually it's 3 here or 6 here and 1 here. Whatever it is, this is the foxhole. This is 5. Now my thing is, are we on planet Earth? Are we shoved into the corner, into the right-hand corner of creation? Because in the letter B, right, in the top right-hand corner of the letter B, where it goes around, or you can cut it off, that would be Earth. So it would be split in 2. So right away I know if it's split in 2, it's recreated in 2. Where is it recreated in 2? Well, Earth, creation, okay, C, right? But Earth starts with an E. That's 5. I'm like certain, okay, there's a good possibility we are in a split open pond of Saturn, okay, where inside Saturn, okay, are other ponds like this, and they take out one at a time and they put them inside Jupiter after Jupiter filled up her belly with water. Okay, and they put this pot in it, okay, and it's, how can I explain it? There's a nut. Inside the center is the nut, okay? The nut is what we are centered on inside Jupiter. So what I think is somehow, if 2 is Venus and is beta, and 4 is Mars, and 2, 4 is 2 times 4, 8 heaven, and 2 plus 4, 6 man, then Venus would be 2. The angel would be on Mars. That's why you can never actually go there, okay? But they're inside Mars. They're not on top of Mars, because we're the only ones that live on top of the planets. Everybody else lives inside the planets, like they live inside the ocean, like they live inside the ground, like they live inside in habitats of the trees. Man is the one who lives on top of the ground. But sometimes they made passages under the ground. Now, because I'm lost to something I was thinking, I may have to end it right here. So I don't know what number I came up with. Oh, yeah, 2 and 4. And not only that, how can I say this? You see, 2 and 3 are the only two numbers on the ABC level that can be doubled without extending over to 2 digits. Okay. Out to 2 digits, okay, and this is how it works. 1 times 1 is 1, it goes nowhere. 2 times 2 is 4, that's fine, single digit. Okay, 3 times 3 is 9. They all stay under 10. So 2 is the only even one, and 3 is the only odd one. Together they make 23 together. You see, 4 by 4 is 16, and 6 by 6 is 36. That's creation of man. We're doubling up on everything. The pi of everything is times 4. The sides of everything are times 2, and the other corners are all divided and split and shared. Okay? One of the reasons is when this dice cube gets turned this way, the corners completely move. Same with the in-between sides. They're both 2 different worlds, okay? When they're shared, The 3 into the 4 creates 5, but the total is 7. 7, 5. Turn it this way. 2 into the 5 makes 7. But all you see, the maximum you see is 5, 57, 75. The year 2014, the year of Morpheus or Phileus. It's the orphan year that year, because that's what it says. When I do my research, I found it in roulette, and it says orphan year 5775. And look at roulette, you will find it. Orphelin, add them up. It'll say Heinz Ketchup. Why Heinz Ketchup? Because man's spirit, okay, which is the one passage, the four angel of the spirit connection thought, and man's thought is 1, 2, 3. So if 1 is birth and 9 is birth and 1 is spirit, the mind connects to all three. 3 times 19 is 57. Man is a jack of all trades. He is the king of this world, along with his wife, the queen, which is the 12th and 13th card. Again, make 25. And so in blackjack, in the world of its own, to represent the same number, because he comes here of one number, and he comes from the same place of one number. So when Jack came from home valued at 10 in blackjack, he showed you his value is 10. But in poker, he showed you his value is 11. Because there is no value in heaven. They don't give him a value. It's, let me see if I'm thinking of the right thing. Anyways, to say it like this, okay, in blackjack, okay, the ace is 11, and the 10, jack, queen, king are all 10s. So the most you can ever get in blackjack using 2 of the top cards is 21. And that's just the beginning. Now, once you get 21, they get a value, you get paid off, and you're into this world. Now you're 21 and over, and come join us in life. Raphael 7286. Ron Paul must win. Ron Paul must win. I think I want to go into politics somehow, because it's really not the politics I want to get into, but I wouldn't mind bringing what the people need up to the plate, you know, and see what kind of, and I wouldn't stay there very long, because it would be no use, because if they wouldn't listen to the words of the people, what they wanted, what would my use be? The words of the people must start to count, and don't start counting from 1. Start counting of each one. Thank you.